Good morning. Welcome to the Mayor's Weekly. And today I have joining me Peter Cosmiano that heads up the city's park and rec operation. And what we want to spend this morning talking about is the broad spectrum of the park and rec activities here in this city. Peter, what I've observed, I've been mayor now for about 8 years. Times there is a fixation on the idea that park and rec is single faceted. Now, you know and I know that is not the truth. I sign every check that leaves this city. I've been a part of building budgets for this city for the last 8 years. I know what we spend our money on, and so the belief that park and rec is single faceted is a misnomer, and I thought today it might be good to talk about the broad spectrum of park and rec. And I'm not talking about just geographically, but age groups that it serves, and the diversity we have in our offerings to people. And Peter, nobody better to talk about that than you, because you're on the ground every day with it.
Yes, sir. We're busy. I tell you what, it's easy for people that look from the outside to just think that we are ball or youth ball or adult ball or something like that. And that notion is not just in Jasper and Walker County, but for most places, the city's about 14.5 population. I think historically we were pigeonholed into just doing this, but as activities grow, as people are starting to get outside a little bit more, I tell my staff, if a building's open, or if the lights are on, or if there's a rental going on, we're working. And so, beyond the traditional sports or sports leagues like baseball, softball, soccer, we're involved with so many other things around the community. For example, just the Jasper Civic Center alone, while we have the weekly things and it's open during business hours, there's also weekend rentals, and and there's meetings at night. Besides the Jasper Civic Center, we've got parks. Let's not talk about the gyms, but we've got parks. And so our maintenance crew, we kind of say, if they cut the grass, it's a park. And so, grass cutting is a lot. Playgrounds are a lot. Within the city of Jasper, and this is a great thing, we've got about 7 to 8 various parks around the city. We've got around 12 ball fields that we've got to maintain.
12 ball fields.
12 ball fields already. Age group, some are age groups, some are multiple. We've got about 5 or 6 facilities that we have to staff, we have to maintain. During the summer just started, the natatorium and our pools. All our aquatic programming that's going on, and so there's a lot that the department as a whole. Now, the way we've structured it is we have certain people in charge of certain things, and so we've got a great staff. They're responsible. They love what they're doing. They love the community. They love being a part of events, and so we're lucky with that. There's also some things, and thankful to the mayor and the city council, is that we're involved with future planning. And so, if there's a possibility of some, for instance, the pickleball courts, we're involved with the planning way before they started construction. But we're thankful, because there's a lot of park and rec departments and directors that aren't involved with planning, because the cities, the municipalities don't have the capabilities of projecting that far out. And so I think once
kind of live for the day sort of thing.
We're just trying to make it to the next month.
Yeah.
But, right now we're able to think about what new activities we can do, what new camps or clinics, even facility upgrades or new facilities or new things that we can offer the community. We're able to think about those things now.
Yeah. Peter, let's go up Walston Bridge Road to what's commonly referred to as the dog park, walking trail. People that may not have the space at their house for the animals. We have fences, fenced areas, and if a person wanted to go fishing down below that, I think there's a pier there, but
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely. We call it's Eagles Point, is the official name of it. We refer to it as a dog park, but we like it because it's a trail in the woods. The community likes it because they can walk in the woods. It's clear, but you have maybe continuous shade on the whole trail. We do have a fenced-in area for the dog park, at the dog park area, which if you have dogs, you can appreciate that. And so it gets a lot of use. Amazingly, just a lot of use.
Peter, you go over to Memorial Park, and when I was growing up, a gym was considered a place that you play basketball. Nothing. I mean, that's all there was when I was growing up. But we know that Swan Gym is much more to Swan Gym than playing basketball is.
Well, I tell you what, our gym floor probably gets the most use of any gym space, I think, in the community. And public gyms, what people don't realize is that we have our leagues in the afternoon, but in the mornings there's other activities in there. Besides basketball leagues and other people coming in to shoot, we also hold volleyball. We do archery in there. There's indoor pickleball on that surface. The schools, we enjoy a great relationship with the Jasper City school system, and sometimes they'll have needs to come over and use our fields. And with Memorial Park being right there, it's easy for the principals or the PE teachers just to call us and say, hey, we're in a bind, can we come over there and put our kids in that facility for a little while? And we're more than welcoming to do that.
Peter, you look at our ball fields, just kind of up the hill from Swan Gym, and I'm by there quite often, and I'm getting a great deal of feedback. It seems like those areas are packing out on a regular basis.
We're lucky and we're fortunate that we have a 5-field complex at Memorial Park. In addition to those 5 up there, there's Woods Murphy, which are dedicated baseball fields. But Memorial Park, the fields up there, that's kind of central to the Parks and Rec Department, and we have a lot of activities there. Now, those fields can be used for softball, can be used for adult softball, youth softball. They can also be converted to be used for baseball, for youth baseball. And so it's a good facility. We can host a lot of things. I think people and parents like coming to the park because if you've got kids playing ball or having a practice up there, you can also walk around it. You might have a kid at swim practice. You could be playing pickleball. There's some of the high school kids that enjoy and come out and and this is just pickup recreational. They'll come out and play soccer and organize themselves, and anything we can do to support the high school sports, we're glad to do it.
Yeah. Peter, as we move around here, we move over behind the college, Belleville State. Tennis courts that are top-notch. Properties owned by the Jasper City School Board. We entered into a long-term lease agreement with the school board. We put the money forward for a complete redo of those tennis courts. As you well know, they are striped, whatever, I don't know if that's the right terminology, Peter, where some of them can be used for pickleball and another nice facility, a part of Jasper Park and Rec.
You're right. We were, up until that agreement with the city and the school board, we really didn't have public tennis courts or public tennis facilities in Jasper. And so that were owned by the city, maintained by the city. But luckily, again, we're fortunate that the tennis has historically been something that's been successful in the city school system. With the new high school, they put a fantastic facility up there, which opened up the Bevel State courts for us to be able to use. So we're really happy about that. One of the first things that we did was we needed to make those courts available to the public, but also multi-use. And so with pickleball lines put down and some other upgrades, we're able to extend the use to the community with different activities, not just tennis, but pickleball. When it rains, some people will go out there and do some fitness things out on the surface.
Yeah. And Peter, now we move down westward and down the hill to Gamble Park. Beautiful facility, and it's utilized 7 days a week.
You know, Gamble Park is an interesting park because when we had kids, my family and I, my wife and I, we were in Mississippi, but every time we would come to visit her parents, just right there in downtown Jasper, Gamble Park was where we went with our strollers and with our kids. Again, it's a shaded area, it's populated, and so it's relatively safe. There's a lot of people in the community that singularly utilize Gamble Park. They walk there daily. That's part of their daily routine, which is what we want to happen as we provide these opportunities for recreation within the community. And so, you know, Gamble Park, it's beautiful year-round. Some years we get to throw down overseed with rye, and so it's beautiful in January, February, and March. But being where it is and that walking track, while it's spread out, there is a lot of use. People just walking and enjoying the picnic tables. I think the proximity to neighborhoods and downtown make that a well-used facility.
Peter, if you don't mind, you're involved in this, touch on some of the upgrades that are being made right now to some of our park facilities. And you touched on the natatorium, been a lot of money spent there, and getting that playground area to where it should be. But I know we have other improvements going. Then I want to move on to what sort of utilization we're seeing for these facilities.
Sure. Well, over the past 2 or 3 years, I think the biggest improvement that the city administration and the council saw was playground upgrades. And so we've spent a lot of money on playground equipment and playground facilities. What people don't realize is that a playground can really encompass a large age group, because the way things are going now and families are going, grandparents are taking kids to play, or their grandkids to playgrounds. And, you know, just the accessibility, the ease of being able to use those things. And so, you know, playgrounds, and there's still a couple more that we can upgrade. There have been, and this is a little bit behind the scenes, but as far as facility improvements, roofing projects on Swan Gym, roofing projects on the natatorium, HVAC at the Civic Center. Those things are behind the scenes, but it takes a lot of money to keep those things up. And so right now there is some air conditioning on the chamber side of the Civic Center. We just replaced 2 units. We're working on some other units, and so we can have consistent heating and cooling. That's not really anybody's fault. That's just wear and tear on some things. And so we had a boiler project at the Civic Center, and so fortunate, lucky, or either well planned, or maybe a little bit of both, we're able to have the liquidity to take care of those things.
Now, Peter, we go to Coke Oven and AP Howell, work going on in both places, right?
There are some upgrade plans for Coke Oven, AP Howell, the courts on the lower part below the Frisco gym. What we're really excited about over there are a splash pad that is going to be very similar to the one at Apex Park. And so, in the end, within the next year or two, maybe after this season, you will see some significant improvements over at Coke Oven, some tennis court resurfacing, some things like that. There's also plans for upgrades or improvements to the pools over there at Southside. This year we put in new liners, and so we're actually this week. Stacy and the aquatics guys are filling up the pool, and so if you don't normally go over there, I encourage folks to go check out the pool over at Frisco or at Southside. It doesn't get as much use or as much traffic as Memorial Park and the natatorium, the outdoor pools, and so I wouldn't say it's a quiet experience, but sometimes it can be a little bit more relaxed than a lot of kids running around you at the natatorium.
Now, Peter, let's talk about utilization, and I've seen it, and I had a call as recent as the day before yesterday talking about the tennis/pickleball court at the college Memorial Park, that evening time and weekends they're maxed out. You can't get there.
Well, yes, absolutely. We are, again, fortunate that we opened up a 9-court outdoor pickleball facility. Before that, we were playing inside the gyms. One of the, and you have research, you have all these surveys, you have all these things, but one thing that I've seen for myself is that the pickleball facility and those courts at Memorial Park below the Senior Activity Center, I would describe it as community at the Jasper community at its best. We've got kids that from 8 years old to 86 years old, or adults that are 86. They're using the facilities. They are partnering up and playing with each other. For instance, my youngest daughter, she's 12. She usually comes out there, we just hit with each other. Well, probably about a month ago, she was asked with one of her little 6th grade friends to play with these with these 2 ladies that were out there just hitting around themselves. I thought that was absolutely wonderful, because now my child has an experience or a relationship with her 2 ladies. I don't even know their names, but my child does. They look for each other at the courts.
You said maybe drove over from Winfield.
Well, they drove from outside of Jasper.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of people that come in and that enjoy the courts. We've got Allie, who is a pickleball ambassador for USA Pickleball, is from Vestavia Hills. She lives at Smith Lake and has found her way to Jasper and our pickleball courts as much as she can. And so when she's at the lake, she's a regular here in Jasper. And so, the reach goes far, 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 far with this recreational activity. I read an article or a statistic that since 2017, pickleball court installs have gone up about 650%. And so, it's something that we're glad to have in Jasper. We're glad to have the facility to promote that and provide that. Again, not to just a specific age group, but from, families, everybody. So I know there's some leagues forming, there's some activities planned, and so it's it's been a welcome recreational activity and really a good amenity to the city.
Yeah. Peter, you have knowledge of this, and in the coming days, you'll be a part of it. The council will see the conceptuals on what I would call a complete revamp of Memorial Park. I want to underscore this. The mayor cannot appropriate one single penny of city money. So if any money is spent, it'll be approved by the council. I can share my thoughts, but I can't. But what I'm seeing is this conceptual could result in maybe a $12 to $14 million investment in the revamp, and we won't get into that. I said the conceptuals have been laid out. My guess is they'll get some tweaking, and then we'll see where the council's at. But if they go forward, that could be moving along quickly. But the backside of that, the finances, the money is sitting in place to do this. We don't have to go ask anybody to lend us any money. It's not going to backflow over on the general fund. We're not going to not pave a street because of what we spent on park and rec. That's that won't spill over onto those sort of things. I think that's the right approach to it.
I do too. You know, a lot of people, even at my dinner table at the house,
Yeah.
We have discussions about, you know, appropriation of money.
Yeah.
And I kind of explain to folks that line items in a budget are line items, and if you have so much to spend on this, so I've got so much to spend on soccer equipment,
Yeah.
on softball, and on baseballs.
Yeah.
We're not, that doesn't go into our overtime use there. And so, you know, from my understanding, that money for the renovations or for Memorial Park, it's there, it's sitting there, it's waiting to be spent. I think over the next 5 or 6 years, we might have a totally different experience with outdoor recreation and what Memorial Park used to be and what it used to be used as opposed to what it can be used as in the future.
Right. Well, I'm excited about it. I hope you are, and I thank you so much for joining me this morning. And what I would say to you, always stand ready to answer your questions. If you have valid concerns, if you see where there's shortfall, we want those claims to have some validity to them, then we want to hear from you. So call on us anytime. Again, thank you for being with us.
Thank you. We appreciate the time, Mayor.
Thank you.